Thanks for joining us. Let's welcome the head of delegation on my far left, Mr. Fina, head coach of Bafana Bafana, Gordon Igesend, and the captain of Bafana Bafana, Itubelen Kune, and my name is Matlamola Morake. As I heard earlier, it's been a long trip. We left our hotel yesterday at 7 o'clock, and we've just arrived. So what we'll do is we'll take questions. Just say who the questions are for. Captain or the coach. If you're ready, we're ready. There's a microphone there.
President Makanya from Super Sports. Coach, when you left, you said that you want to see how the youngsters are going to do with a mixture of experience and so forth. Are you happy? Are you content with the result? Are you happy with how the guys played, especially the younger guys looking forward to the future?
Yeah, look, obviously, I'm going to be pleased, to go to Morocco, their home backyard, in front of 42,000 people, and do a performance like we did, especially in the first half. The first half, I thought we were outstanding. We created opportunities. We could have gone in half-time 2-0 up, or even 3, if we took our chances. But in the day, we played against a very, very good team. The goalkeeper plays for Madrid. They've got players playing for Juventus. They've got players playing for Roma. They had their top team out there. And I think in the first half we matched them. And then we got the balance right with the experienced players. That's what I said before. You've got to put the youngsters in with the experienced players because they're going to learn and be carried from the experienced players. So all in all, it was a very good exercise. I'm very pleased with it.
Mazola Molefe from the Times and the Sowetan. My question is to Coach Gordon. My assumption would be that from now on, every game that we play, every preparation is for either 2015 or the next World Cup, and with Chen in mind. Are there any plans for more friendly games? Where to from here for Bafana, given that obviously there are no World Cup qualifiers and that?
Well, I think it's very important for us to start preparing, like I said before, for the Chen tournament. We'll have 2 friendlies coming up this month. We'll be able to prepare the team for the Chen tournament, but the first thing I'm going to do now is just find out about the availability of players for the Chen tournament. We've got to get that sorted out, and we'll take it from there. But we're going to be active. We have probably about 4 friendlies before the Chen tournament starts.
Okay. Can I speak to Itu? Itu, from the players' point of view and from the captain, what did you guys get out of it, and what did you think? What's your view of the game going forward? And the younger players that played, did they fit in?
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate Tsepo Masilela on his 50th cap. He's such an inspiration in this country. He's been around for a very long time, and I think him still being around Bafana, other players will rub their shoulders with, and they'll be able to get some experience from him. And talking about the game, it was a great game we had. Like the coach said, when we played against top players who compete in bigger leagues, and with us, majority of the team that was called up was the local based, and I think even the players who've never played in the highest level before, but they managed to fit in very well, because the coach, when he selected his team, he mixed experienced players with the inexperienced, and it was very good to see all the players gelling together. And we only had two days to prepare for the Moroccan game, but I think we showed character and we played very well. First half, we were all over them. We showed them no respect, and when we went out there, we had one thing in mind, that we will turn the crowd against them, and we did exactly that. The crowd was against their own home team, and they were rooting for us, and that's when we kept on attacking, and we scored an early goal as well from those good plays. And it's exactly the same. It reminds me of the game we played in Brazil. that's exactly what we did. We went there, we showed them no respect in their own backyard, played very well for the entire 90 minutes. We were just unfortunate to draw a game. We really deserved to win that game.
Coach, good morning. Joaquin William, Citizen. As much as you said you're planning for Chen, what would be your aim for Chen? To win it at home?
Well, like I said, obviously we're playing at home, and we always say that we have the best league on the whole continent of Africa, and we have to do that. We can't speak about it. We have to go out and win it. But as I said, we're in a very tough group, and obviously the availability of players is going to be the most important. Of course, I'd like to be able to have the best team available. But it's a bit early for me to talk about these things right now because I'm not sure exactly what is the situation as far as the availability of players is concerned. You all know it's not a FIFA weekend, but the league has cancelled that period of time, the games for that period of time. So that's an indication that they want us also to do well. And I'm sure that the players will be available. This is a big tournament. It's not a small tournament. It's a big tournament. And we need to represent ourselves correctly. And I'm sure that the players will be available and to be able to put our best team out there.
Coach Vele from SABC News. In fact, just picking up on the Chen issue, noticed last week PSL has scheduled 2 rounds of fixtures at the same time when the Chen knockout stages are taking place. I think that is something that might hamper your plans, especially if the team progresses to that stage.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's a bit premature to start talking about all that now because there are talks between the association, SAFA, and the PSL. And hopefully I'll get some light shed on the matter in the next two or 3 days. But as I said, I'm sure that everybody wants the team to do well. Everybody wants us to do well in the Chen tournament. We've drawn in a very tough group, as you know, Nigeria, Mali, and Mozambique. It's not a easy group, but we will be capable if all the players are available. So to talk about the scheduling of matches in that period of time, I think things might change a little bit in that department, but I can give you more clarity on it as soon as I know.
Coach Gordon, PJ from the South African Press Association. Just a question on, well, you must be getting quite used to seeing new players coming into the team and getting their first cap. How encouraging is it to see the new guys having that hunger for the team and the excitement they get for getting their first cap?
Yeah, look, I think it's very important, but if you look at the big picture, what I said maybe 6 months ago, we have to start developing a team for 2015, 2017 and 2018. And the older players in the squad now have got a huge role to play as well. I've said this before, there's no player too young or too old to play in my team. But I think what's mostly important and hugely important is the fact that under 17s, under 20s, under 23 teams start now playing. Because there's so many players that have to start playing. And the national team, the senior national team is not a place just to give caps away all the time. They've got to start playing under 17s, 20s, 23s. I mean, if these young players have had 5 years or 6 years of under 17s, under 20 and 23, and then they come to the senior national team, they're going to be hugely and much more experienced than they are right now. So, over the last couple of months, I've given quite a few opportunities to younger players, locally and overseas-based players, to get a good idea. But at the end of the day, we have to remember that our senior national team is not a development team. It's not an under-21 team. It's not an under-23 team. It's our senior national team. And we have to pick the best players at all times. But over the last 3 or 4 months, I've given a lot of players opportunities because of the CASAFA Cup. We took locally based players in certain tournaments, and it's given me a great opportunity. And I wouldn't have done anything differently if I had a chance to do it again. I think you can sometimes see the difference between the locally based players, the younger players, and the overseas based players. They play at a very high level. So overall, this period has been very, very good for us. I mean, you saw certain players like Dalen Klaassen, really classy player out there, and a couple of the youngsters. But all in all, at the end of the day, we've got to now, keep winning games. When we play these friendly games, we've got to keep winning them, and we've also got to prepare for 2015. You know, slowly but surely, there might be one or two older players out of the system come 2015 or 2018, depending on their form and so on and so forth. But at the moment, I think things are looking very good. You know, I've managed to be able to see a lot of locally based players, giving them the opportunity where normally I'll be watching them in the under 23 team and watching them in the under 20 team. But because these teams have been inactive, we've taken the responsibility of throwing them in the deep end, putting them into the squad, having a look at them at the risk of losing sometimes. So it's very difficult. But at the moment, right now, as we sit, I think I've got a much clearer idea how we're going to go forward.
Okay, Itumalung Melanie from Lagos Sport. I just wanted to know, because there's a lot of young players coming in right now, and when you guys are playing a match and you're 1-0 down, or you know a goal is scored against you, how do you actually motivate those chaps to give even more than what they have during the match?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very good question, but again, I think all the players who play in the Bafana, we all experienced, and as soon as we give in the responsibility to wear the Bafana jersey, we know that we have to make the country proud, and we have to win all the matches. And it's very important that whenever we 1-0 down, we keep on encouraging one another that we will come back in the game. But I think so far we haven't experienced that, because all along we've been playing with more experienced players whom we didn't go through being 1-0 down. But now against Morocco, we had more youngsters in the team where we were 1-0 up, and we kept on pushing and pushing for a second goal, which we couldn't get. But in the second half, very early in the second half, we conceded a goal, and how we managed to contain the Moroccans in the second half, it was very good that we didn't panic and we didn't think we were going to lose the game. We played very well, we kept the shape, we kept the discipline, and the game ended 1-1. It's not the score that we went to Morocco for. We wanted a win, but we're just unfortunate not to have converted our chances in the first half.
Eyewitness News. Coach Gordon, I understand that you've talked about this issue a lot, but yesterday there were conflicting reports in regards to the position of Thulani Serero. Can you clear up for us whether or not he has been banned and what he has to do to potentially come back into the team?
Yeah, look, I don't want to keep talking about Thulani Serero. I think I've said enough about that. We all know what the situation was, and it's been handled by SAFA now. It's been handed over to SAFA. I put my report in, and my report was very clear that Thulani Serero on Friday said he does not want to play because he's scared to get injured. So as a coach, I've got a responsibility. You know, nobody's bigger than the game, and you bring a player to South Africa to play for your country, you expect him to go out there and play. Not say, well, I don't want to play, as soon as he heard he was selected. But the letter has been sent to him, and all we requested is that he gives us his side of the story now. You know, once he does that, I'm sure, you know, I don't hold grudges against any player. So Thulani Serero is a good player, I know that, but not bigger than the game. And there's players in this country who die for our country. There's players who put their shirt on and go out there and die for the team. And that's what I, as a coach, want from all my players. I demand that from them, and any player doesn't get that kind of effort won't be playing in my team. That's how I am. And, you know, to select a team and plan the whole week, come Friday and a player says, I don't want to play because I'm scared to get injured, I need to play for my club. I mean, where are his priorities? I've got no problem with that. He made that choice, But at the end of the day, let's hope that he does the right thing. He's a young man. He makes mistakes in his life, and we all make mistakes. But he needs to acknowledge. You know, he basically went out there and told my assistant coach that he's lying. Told my doctor that he's lying, and he never said that. You know, so let's hear his story, what he's got to say. But from my point of view, I put in my report to SAFA. SAFA are now handling it, and we'll take it from there.
Coach, just on the issue of the friendlies for next month as well, what kind of opposition are you looking for there? And have you already started talking to teams? Which teams maybe will you be bringing? And also, yesterday the draw was made for the COSAFA under-20. They've not played for a very long time. I think they're playing Zambia, Seychelles, and Namibia. Will you also be involved maybe in some capacity so that the coach will be picking the team? Will also have an eye on
what Bafana Bafana wants in the future?
Yeah, look, that's all part of the master plan. You know, that's all part of our master plan, and let's hope we get our under-20s organised as quick as we can. The coaches will be put in place very soon, I'm sure, and obviously I will have a hand in that. But I won't interfere in his selection of his team. He'll have to select the best under-20 players available. I'm sure he will do that, and then we'll take it from there. As far as opposition for our upcoming games, it's quite difficult for us to get opposition because most of these teams are playing the Chan tournament. So you know, you don't only play a team that you might be playing the Chan tournament. So we have to, we have got people looking at the moment, and we'll try and get a team that's maybe not in the Chan tournament or is in the Chan tournament, not in our group, and of course maybe we can't meet in the quarterfinals. So we're still working on that. But we want to play African opposition, of course, so we want to be preparing for the Chan tournament. It's no good us, you know, playing certain teams. But if we have to, under circumstances, we'll play whoever, you know, because at the end of the day, it's not about playing against an African team, it's about me organising my team to play well. So whether we play against an African team or another team makes no difference as long as we're playing and preparing ourselves for our next match in the Chan tournament.
Coach, considering the format of Chan, are you happy with the relationship that you enjoy with the local league? And is it going to become even more important now, leading up to Chan, that you guys have a good working relationship and working towards the goal of Chan?
Yeah, look, I think I'm very happy with the relationship that I personally have with the teams and the leagues and the coaches and the CEOs of the clubs. I'm sure there's no problem there, but you've got to understand, you know, there's the league's also a business. The PSL is also a business, and they've got games coming up, and it's you know, it's a very tight schedule. So we have to work together in this, and we have to try and make sure, you know, because you can't, for example, select a team that's going to play just in the knockout stage, and then the whole team goes and plays league games or cup games during the course of that week. So it's a difficult situation, but as I said, SAFA are now handling it. I've spoken to Dennis Mumble, and I'm sure he's in meetings with the PSL, and the rules will be outlined for us, exactly how we're going to do things, or the players. You know, the league wouldn't have stopped those games if the players were going to be released from those clubs. But it's not a FIFA weekend, so the clubs and the league can't say to the clubs, you must release the players. So there's got to be an understanding that the clubs want to release the players, will release the players. And I'm not going to get in a bun fight with anybody regarding this. You know, I just want to know where I stand, and then I'll pick my team accordingly. You know, so certainly I hope that that all the players will become available, and because we really need the best players to win this tournament. You know, you may think it's not a big tournament, it's a huge tournament, and you know, it's a tournament that we're hosting, and we want to do well, and to do that we always need to have our best players. And I'm sure that the PSL clubs realise this. I'm sure that SAFA realise this, and between the two of them we'll make a plan, I think, and be able to get the players. But like I said, nobody can force the PSL players to be released. They work for their clubs. The players earn their salaries there, and I respect that. I used to coach a club as well, so I respect that. But let's hope together we can work this out and come to a right arrangement, and we'll be able to have the best players for the duration of the tournament.
Sorry, issue just. Have we turned the corner now? This result and going forward, 2015, not so much Chan, but 2015 and the World Cup qualifiers coming up next March?
No, I wouldn't really say we've turned the corner, but I think we just need to be patient with us, and we need to be patient with ourselves as well. It was a good result, and I mean, going forward, we expect to get more positive results like the ones we got from Morocco, but I think we can do better than that, and we can keep on improving as a team.
Hey Coach Gordon, Katlev from Jacaranda FM. You had said earlier on that you are tired of having mandates saying that you have to win this, now you want time to develop players. But last week, the SAFA Vice President Chief Mwera Nonkonyani has said that the mandate for you is to win the Chan tournament. Is it something that has been said to you?
No, that's absolute nonsense. I'm not. You know, I really don't want to talk about this anymore. I'm tired of talking about mandates. I had a mandate to win to get to the semi-final African Cup of Nations. I never did that. I had a mandate to qualify for the World Cup, and I never did that. But SAFA obviously liked the work that I was doing and chose to keep me on. And that's where we are right now. I've got a contract till 2014, and I don't know where Chief gets that my mandate is to win the champ tournament. That's news to me. So there are no mandates. There's just I've got a contract till 2014. The mandates that I did have, which is very clear, I didn't achieve. Whether it was my fault or not my fault, that's for you guys to decide. I think we've got 9 points out of possible 12 in the World Cup, and that should qualify anybody. But in the day, it's fallen away. SAFA enjoyed the work I did. They think there is progress, and obviously they kept me on until 2014. And that's where I am right now. So I'm not prepared to discuss mandates. And whatever Chief said about this mandate, I don't know where he got that from, but I don't know anything about any mandates.
Coach, I just wanted to know, do you believe that you guys needed maybe a bit more time to prepare for the game or at the venue itself, or do you think you guys had enough time to acclimatize to, you know, traveling time, all of that?
No, I don't think that even when it comes to the question, it's obvious we never had enough time, you know, but that's not even worth talking about because that's how it is all the time. You know, we travel 3 different aeroplanes, take us 20 hours to get there, and you get there and you've got to rest the players first of all from the trip. Look, we arrived today and we played on Saturday, so they couldn't do anything today, they had to rest, we trained on Friday, but that's how it is. So it's no, you asked the question, I'm not complaining about it, I'm just answering it. That's just not really an issue. It's we're used to that now, that's how it is, but the preparation is never enough. You know, you've one training session and you've got players for the first time playing together, making their debuts, understanding each other. It's not easy, you know, you need time for that, but as I say, that's how it is in international football, so we accept that and we'll get better. You know, Billy asked a question about have we turned the corner. We're not worried about turning the corner right now. We're looking at the big picture. The big picture is to prepare a team to qualify for 2015. 2015 from now is 18 months' time. Can you imagine some of these players who played yesterday playing more regularly, how they're going to be in come 2015, and how they're going to be come 2017? Because you can only gain experience from playing, you know. So those guys I spoke about, they've got to keep their feet on the ground because they haven't arrived. They've got a lot of work to do. We went to Morocco, we played very, very well, but that doesn't mean that this group is a core of players I'm going to be working with. We have to find some more players, and that's why I keep saying under 17, 20, and under 23 team, they've got to find these youngsters, and hopefully out of the blue, that there's players that we don't know about yet, that you and I don't know about, is going to pop up in an under 17 team. And in 3 years' time or 4 years' time, he'll be a player playing for Bafana Bafana. That's what we're doing. We're not just trying to take the core of players that we've got. We've got to find some new players, and we will. And we're on a big mission. We're on a huge mission at the moment. But it doesn't happen overnight. It just doesn't happen overnight. You know, we did well against Morocco, but we've got a lot of work to do come 2015, 2017, and 2018 World Cups.
Coach, sorry, do you think that maybe that's something that SAFA should be looking at for the future, is to arrange that if we are invited to another country and we've only got a set time that they basically sponsoring, that SAFA actually comes on board and allows you guys to go earlier? And
No, you get the big stuff, Melanie. It's nothing to do with SAFA. There's a domestic league taking place here, and there's FIFA dates, and FIFA dates are between certain times. They say, for example, between the 10th and the 12th, or between the 10th and the 14th. That's the FIFA date. So you get those players for those 4 days, but you can't say, oh, let's stop the league for 2 weeks, we're going to go play a match. You know, there's only FIFA dates arrive at certain times, and those are the only 3 days and 4 days sometimes if you're playing locally or traveling away. And that's part of your, also your time, that period is also your traveling time. You know, that's how it is all over the world. There's FIFA dates, and outside those FIFA dates, or even in a FIFA date, you can't just say, okay, fine, we're going to stop the league games. There's teams, I mean, there's teams playing on Friday. We just arrived back today. There's some league games coming up. These teams need to have their players to work with them, to check their injuries, there's a lot of, it's very, very tough. It's very, very tough, you know. So we just can't, it's nothing to do with SAFA saying we're going to have 5 more days. Or the PSL saying they give the guys 4 more days, we'll cancel these games, we'll cancel those games so they can go play. It doesn't work like that.
Coach, just considering that the tournament will be hosted in Morocco in 2015, what are your early impressions of playing in Morocco?
Yeah, Morocco, I've already said it's a fantastic place. It's not the first time I've been there. I think I've been there on 3 or 4 occasions. I took Ajax there, I took Sundowns there, I took many Rangers there. We played against Raja Casablanca at Casablanca. But I think the experience for some of the players was great for the first time they've been there, and it's a beautiful country. The people are very, very nice. It's a footballing country. They're fanatical about their football. And the stadiums are quite nice as well. You know, the new stadium we went to now is outstanding, but I do know they have other stadiums there that are world-class stadiums as well, especially in Casablanca. So I think the experience was great. You know, it gives the players a feel of the environment, and can know what you look forward to qualifying there, because it's a great place to be, and it's as I say, it's a great footballing country. People in the street, they know their football. You know, they know their football, and they love teams coming there and playing, and the atmosphere is great. So I think it was a good experience for us. Gained a lot from it.
Do you have any more questions? If not, well, thank you very much to